It's almost 9 a.m. My mother still isn't feeling in tip-top shape. Today is the last day that we get to spend in this city before we hop on our flight to Rome. And I am out of e-juice. I figured it's a beautiful morning. I can go for a walk, maybe fly the drone around for a bit. While we were at the mall the other day, I stopped by the Timberland store and picked up some shoe cleaner. They actually turned out really nice. Huh. In case you forgot or you haven't seen it, yesterday's vlog we climbed to the top of a mountain to see a castle, and on the way back down there was some... Wow. This one isn't even on Google Maps yet. I just happened to notice that on the way to this other one. And we're here. Thank you. That was probably the best vape store I have been to yet in all of Europe, where I've actually been in Europe. I can't say it's the best vape store in all of Europe. It's the best vape store that I've been to in all of Europe. That's the one right there. If you're in Sicily, that's the vape store you want to go to. Now to see if I can find a spot to play with the drone for a little while. It looks like there's a park right over there. People are now walking away. Well, that was super fun as usual. I mean, is it possible to fly a drone and not have fun? I don't think so. That is a volcano. That is smoke, not clouds. That is Androne. Statue, another statue. That's a coffee shop.
Mar Tropica.
I want to talk for a minute about vaping. When I was a teenager, I did what most teenagers do, and that is try to fit in with the cool people. Well, if the cool people smoke cigarettes, I smoke cigarettes. So that's what I did. I started when I was, I don't know, somewhere around like 9 or 10, just, you know, casually smoking around people that smoked. It was awful, it was gross. I don't know why I actually started. I mean, even then, like, it made me puke. I fell out of a tree one time because of it. Then I got into high school and I started smoking more often. I got a job, I could afford cigarettes. I was full-blown addicted to cigarettes by the time I was 15 or 16. I tried everything to quit, everything that I could think of. I had the gum, I tried cold turkey, I tried the nicotine patches, I tried the medicine that you take. Nothing worked. And then a few years ago, I moved in with a friend in Orlando, Florida, and, you know, I'm a very respectful person. I didn't want to smoke, you know, around him because he was a non-smoker, and I didn't want him to have to put up with the smell, smelling it on my clothes and stuff like that. So I was looking to try and quit again. Plus, he was a very healthy person, ran every day, worked out, that kind of thing. And figured what better way to try again to quit smoking. I tried and I tried and I failed. Nothing was working. So one day I was like, well, let me try and at least cut down on smoking, and I went to a vapor store. And a few years ago I bought my first vaporizer. It was just a little pen. I figured, oh, we can do that inside, you know, it's just like water vapor or whatever, no big deal. It's not gonna turn the walls yellow, it's not gonna make everything stink. If anything, it smells great. Well, what happened is, without even realizing it, I just stopped smoking. I upgraded to a much bigger vaporizer, an RDA that I had to build my own coils and, you know, wrap the cotton and dripped manually, and that did it for me. It gave me enough of a lung sensation without the hardcore intensity burning and everything else that's associated with cigarettes. And what happened is I kind of accidentally quit smoking. It was weird. Just one day I realized, I walked out on the balcony to look at the woods one day, and I was sitting there and I was vaping, and I realized, oh, this is probably a good opportunity to smoke a cigarette. Jeff's not awake, it'll air out before he wakes up. And I grabbed my pack of cigarettes, went to go grab my pack of cigarettes out of my pocket and realized they weren't there. Like, they weren't there, which is weird because as a smoker, you always have a lighter and a pack of cigarettes on you, and there's nothing. So I went back to my desk, grabbed my pack of cigarettes that were sitting on my desk, my computer desk, and I realized that I hadn't smoked a cigarette in about a week and a half. That it was the same pack of cigarettes that I had purchased 2 weeks prior. There were still like a dozen cigarettes in there, and I just threw the pack away. It's like, well, I obviously haven't smoked a cigarette for 12 days. I don't need the packs of cigarettes, so I just tossed them. When I came to that realization, I thought that I was on top of the world. I just felt super powerful. Like, if I can quit smoking, I could accomplish anything, because I had tried for years. I was like 31 at this point, or 30. Whatever it was, I had smoked for 15 plus years, and it's just such an impossible feeling to anyone who is addicted to smoking and wants to stop. It just makes you feel out of control. Oh, that's really good. Fast forward about 6 months, and I went to Jacksonville to visit friends and family and left my vaporizer in Orlando. That's about a 2-hour drive. I had to go the entire weekend without my vaporizer, and that's when I realized that I went from feeling powerful to powerless. I essentially just traded one addiction for another, and that's where I am today. I've been vaping now for, oh God, let's see. How old am I? 32, 33, 30. I've been vaping now for about 2-3 years. We'll call it 3 years. On one hand, it's great because I don't wake up with my chest hurting like I used to. I'm not coughing up phlegm all the time like I used to. I feel better. I feel like oxygen can get to my muscles better. I can breathe better. I don't have as many sinus issues as I used to have. So in one regard, physically, I feel a lot better. Now, there's a lot of scientific studies out there claiming that vaping is great for you. Some claim that they're bad for you. I don't know the truth. All I can tell you is my own personal experience, which is I feel better. Whether that's gonna have long-term effects down the road, I have no idea. Vaping hasn't been around long enough to actually do a proper study on that kind of thing. But I feel better, and that's the important part. This is really good. I have no idea what's in there, but it's really good. Moral of the story is, I used to smoke, I quit smoking, I traded one addiction for another, I started vaping, and I feel better about myself. When it comes to traveling though, it can be quite a pain because I have to go out of my way to find e-liquid. It's extra weight that I have to carry, spare batteries for this thing in the tank, fluid that you have to carry on an airplane. You can only carry 100 milliliter bottles at most, and you can only carry a quart, what liquid can fit in a bag, in a quart-sized bag. So it really restricts what I can and can't bring on my plane, like my shoe cleaner that I just bought the other day at the mall. I might have a heck of a time trying to squeeze that in my bag. I might have to throw away some shampoo or something. Anyways, my goal is to quit vaping as well. Now I realize I just bought 60 milliliters more worth of e-liquid, but that stuff, that's like 3 weeks. Like I go through a 30 ml bottle a week, give or take. But it's really weird too. It's not like smoking. Smoking a cigarette, you know, you can't sit through a movie without having the urge to want to smoke, or you know, as soon as you finish eating, you gotta have a hit. You gotta get that nick. You don't really have nick fits with vaping. It's weird. It's more of a. It's not a physical. It's more of a. It's not a physical addiction. It's more of a. It's more of a mental addiction. Like you're just so used to doing it. And I have my daily routine. You know, I can go an entire day without vaping and not even realize it. I could sit through an entire movie without realizing it. But the second I sit down to work at my normal job, I'm constantly grabbing it. Like, I don't know, it's weird. Or if I'm playing a video game, like if I'm playing Rocket League, as soon as one match ends, or every goal even, every time we get a goal or the enemy gets a goal, I'm like grabbing. Anyways, it's weird. I'm sorry for ranting. Long story short, I plan on quitting at some point in time. Maybe you guys will give me the encouragement to do so. I am like 5 blocks away from the apartment right now. How have I not seen this yet and I've been here for a week? This place is massive. It goes on from blocks and blocks and blocks of just fruits and vegetables and odds and ends, socks. It's insane.